I can give you all general template schedules, assuming no prior knowledge, and you could build up from the beginning. But the truth is that there's no one size fits all because everyone's going to have different obligations. Some folks have kids, some folks don't have kids. And so just focusing on whichever areas give you trouble. There's tons of videos in the course. Live classes like the reading comp class we just did, others like the logic games or the logical reasoning. And so you can pick and choose and get some variety. I have template schedules that have you focus on one area in depth, but variety is important and everyone's at a different place. And so my suggestion would be that you work through a logic games class, then do a bunch of logic games of that type. Work through a logical reasoning class, go through a bunch of those of a given type. Same for reading comp. You could focus on science if you don't like science. You could focus on art if you don't like art. Some of these questions don't have easy yes, no answers. So let's say hypothetically, you watch a logic games workshop on grouping games. Let's say specifically grouping in-out games. You have a couple of choices at that point. You could do some practice questions of that type, which I'd probably recommend, or you could watch another video walkthrough of that exact same game type to get more foundation and more context before going into the practice. I'm starting from zero and very little prior knowledge to becoming proficient in the different game types and having a sense of at least the general route to go. And you're right that you can't expect perfection immediately. You can't expect that your diagram will look like other people's diagrams at the start, but all exposure is going to be useful. And a simple framework for you, Aisha. So I get that I sense that you're looking for certainty when I don't know that any of us can give you certainty, but I can paint a couple of paths you could take. So let's say you watch a logic games workshop on a certain game type, and you're like, well, okay, I watched that. What should I do now? You can try out a couple of games of that type and see how it feels. And if you're feeling like you're lost, you're not sure what to do, and you watch my video explanations and they're still not making sense, then I'd say, do another workshop on that specific game type, and then go back to more practice problems. You mentioned wasting problems. Yes, that's true. But at the same time, the value in attempting them is telling you that it's giving you the chance to experiment and see whether you have some proficiency and some level of comfort or not. So there is value in exposing yourself to them. And there are nearly 400 released logic games. There's 89 numbered exams, a handful are unnumbered, and then you have 4 games per exam. So it's okay to burn through some of them. You'll have plenty of others remaining. Thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already to be notified of new episodes as I release them. And feel free to reach out if you need anything at all as you move forward with your prep. I'm happy to help however I can. In the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.